whole weekend I've been funerals, so the black is not fashion. It's like I'm coming from a funeral. And I am always happy if I'm called to share some of my ideas with the youth. So really happy to meet all of you. The topic I find quite interesting as multitudes, how to generate multiple streams of income. And it's extremely relevant. But if you are working in Ghana and you are a salaried worker for that month, and you don't have extra income, you are a thief. True or false? You can't manage, go to work from 8 to 5, take your bigger salary, and you have a wife and 2 kids, and have to take transport, you probably may have a car, unless you have extra income streams. Right? And if you say you want to be honest and live by your salary, your family will leave you. So you must find it. And if you're an honest person who is not a thief or who doesn't want to dabble in all sorts of negative things, you must find extra income. So I'm really happy here to talk about it because I've dedicated the rest of my life to forming a foundation, picking up Amoabeng Foundation. What I'm trying to do is to train leaders who can change the narrative for Ghana and Africa. And it's a big agenda. It doesn't make me sleep well. That's the only thing that's eating down. But what we find in Africa is that not that we don't have leaders, we have leaders of all types. But we don't have leaders who can change the course of events for us. And incidentally, if you look at it, in this world, if you have a problem and you identify the problem, you go and see an expert who can solve it for you. So, for example, you have a bad toothache, what do? You go for a good dentist who can solve your dental problem for you. If you are not well, you go to a hospital and look for a doctor. Now, these experts that you go to, they've been trained in their field to cause the right change. And we in Africa diagnose our problem eventually as one of leadership. And until and unless we get a good leader, our narrative will not change. But we're not training the kind of leaders with the right values who can change it. And that's why I've devoted the rest of my life to training young people in the kind of leadership, making them leaders who have values, like leaders who have respect for people, who care for others, care about time, who care about systems, who are God-fearing, and generally love people. These are the kind of people who can change the narrative for everybody. Unless this happens, salary workers, you must find ways and means of survival. And the same Ghanaians are magicians. The topic now and everywhere, you don't even have to come here. Come and know what you have to do. Chat PT or chat AI, and you can tell you what you have to do. But of course, it's alien. So what I've decided to do this evening is to share my personal experiences with you and let you learn the special lessons that I've gone through. You know, I'm not young. I've seen some young people inspiring and thinking this guy, and I'm 73 years old. But that doesn't mean I haven't got power to ask you. I beg you. Anyway. So one of the things that I've done, which will also educate you on this topic, is that I've written 3 books. They call the UT story. They got the volume 1 was the UT story, humble beginnings. That's when I started UT. And volume 2, creating a winning team, which talks about building other companies and other income streams. And then volume 3 is about UT Bank, how we came to own a bank and become a bank. So we've got some of the books outside. For those who want to read more, you can have a free in terms of generating other income streams. Now, to generate other income streams, you must have the money to invest. Because salary is not good, so how do you generate the money to invest? It's really the non-starter mostly. But there are a lot of things that you can do, like hobbies and small businesses resources, using family members and kids and things like that to generate those incomes. You know, a lot of people want to start business in a big way. And I always have a problem with that. Because, you know, when I started, you need trust. In one room at Canterbury, with one table, 3 people, no toilet, no kettles. I was 45 years and I was broke. And my wife had didn't left me with the kids. So I was completely shut. I was able to get it. So don't worry, for this example, all I'm saying is that don't ever give up and don't worry. Keep working hard, keep building the capacity, educate yourself, try things. If you fail, try again, and learn lessons and move on and keep it and try again. You don't need material things. Well, you don't know when you're going to die, so why should you have material things? That was our emphasis for those years. So, for example, what I had by way of civilian material things was one category. Because everything I had was military uniform, military shoes, military that. And then I had one battery just in case I have to go to town and have to disguise myself as a civilian. So as I stand here, I'm still like that. I haven't changed much. And I've never changed supposedly. So lesson number 1, stay humble and be stingy, for lack of a better word. Don't waste your money. If you want to actually preserve your money and have a very income stream. I mean, so the other thing is, be humble too. Be very humble. Now, when I talk about humility, people don't understand. In Ghana, we have a population of about 33, 35 million. Well, 1 out of that 33 or 35 million, 1 over 35 million is 0. For those who are living of mass. So, in effect, you are nothing. So, who are you competing with? What do you want to prove? You are nothing. And I'm giving these points because without these forming the basics of your values, you cannot generate income from God. That's why they can. Hey, this person I want this week. Hey, this one to be easy. And those monies you have to actually keep and invest. And you should not be in competition with anybody. You will not be in competition with anybody. Go at your own pace. And wait for your time. Your time will certainly come if you go about life honestly. Be a very honest person. And also have respect for everybody. Leave people to go by themselves. Help them to even grow. But you won't mention it. Don't worry about it. Your time will come. And finally, be God-fearing. The Bible says, love thy neighbor as thyself. All I'm saying is that respect everybody. Everybody is a creation of God. Therefore, you are not better than the next person. You're probably favored for whatever reason, but you're not better. If you have these values, you can go on to see how it can generate the other income streams. Now, back to my own story. So, I left the army, not on my own terms, but I felt I didn't fit. And I won't go into details there. I stepped out, and this I always step. I decided to go to UK, where I've gone to school for about 1.5 years, to find a job because I couldn't fit in the Ghanaian community. When I got there, I went to my classmate, the one that I was learning with, and he was a small accountant in London. And I said, Charlie, I have to run from my country, so you have to help me get a job. He said, okay, I'll try. Finally, long story short, he got me a job as a bookkeeper of some sort. And I said, Eric, but he's a white guy. I said, Eric, are you an accountant? Why come me? I have to go hide in the village. And he said, well, you should shut up. Your papers are not good and you're a black man as well, so that's all I can get for you. So I said, okay, fine, you done well. And I kept that. I said, I'll go to Ghana, I'll be back. I knew I was going to go back. And I went to Nigeria. Those days, all graduates were going to Nigeria to get a job. I went to Nigeria to see if I could survive. It was okay because the graduates there were having good salary. They usually gather around, drink Guinness, and then lion soup and goat head. It was special. Goat head, you come and there's a full celebration. And I was asking myself, so my life is just in and like to I came back to Ghana. And then I was looking around and seeing people with Mercedes Benz, a nice family, and everything else. Me, I'm the officer, degrees for administration, chartered accountant, I can't survive, and these people are surviving. God, I won't go anywhere unless you kill me. I will stay in Ghana. And one thing that dawned on me was that for the youth, I always say that God put us here to make this world a better place. And He put you of all the big places on earth in Ghana. It means this is where you are supposed to go to change. So don't run away and not come back. You may run away and get well learn and advance yourself and acquire some experience, but always please come back. But this is where God has your problems for you to solve. If you go and you don't come back, you are disappointed in your God. So now you have to think of what to do with you because you left the place where you have a problem to solve or where it's being a problem to solve. That's my way. So back to my story. When I didn't have anywhere to go, I followed my friend who was a businessman, retired by first young officer. I followed this guy, we go there doing business. They didn't like me as the business community in which I was because I talked too much truth as a Suleiman. When we go for meeting, before they realize I've screwed all the business, they say, we don't do business, and I said, that is what it is. They said, no. So either they will keep me outside the business, or I swear to keep quiet while they're doing the discussion. And it was disgusting to hear some of the things that my partners were saying for us to do the business. But I learned it. I went through it. I went through that. And then other businesses I was into. First was buy and sell. Then I was into timber. I was into construction. I was into importation of wines, of ceramic. I was into air conditioning services. I was into oil, downstream and midstream. I was into everything. I did electrical construction. You know what my profession is. All the home of generating some kind of income streams. But for 15 years, I was doing all kinds of things. One thing, and I was teaching at the Soviet Union too. One thing for sure, that I was learning about the Ghanaian business environment, business people. So for 15 years, I was now really learning how to do Ghanaian business people. And so one day, I was disappointed badly by my bank because they wanted to be I applied for a loan of 20 million. And then after waiting about 2.5 months or 3 months, they called me and they said, oh, we've got a facility approved for you. I got there, instead of $20,000, they had approved $3,000. And I was so mad, I closed my account that day, insulted everybody at the bank, and 10 tables upside down. I was like, I said it, I was mad at it. And I decided that what is there about renting? I will rent. I will change this narrative about renting. The mystery about renting, I will change it. Therefore, I set up a so I had all the problems that I had to start as every company. Now, if you are running a company, this is about guaranteeing other income streams. I see people who will say that we have the financial institution, then he has a mining institution, he has a real estate, and he's doing water, and he's doing that. I don't see the rationale in that most of the time. But if you are trying to get extra revenue in the streams, it should have a core. It's a core business, and then you can generate other businesses. I mean, you've got a lack of better experience. Let me say, actually, you are selling house at Coco. That is your business. As you sell out, you see people come, they ask for coaching. So then you look into coaching, what you support the other local seller. Then someone says, what groundnut to go with it. So then you must explore into groundnut. But then the business grows organically. One way of growing sustainable business. And your attention should be, how do I sell more cocoa? More cocoa. Not more groundnut or more cocoa. More cocoa. So our meeting, we were having our challenges and wanted to build structures around the lending because it was difficult lending. set up with it was, for example, a lot of our clients came from Tema, said they wanted money to pay their car, to pay their goods. And I said, okay, we tried. We cleared the goods for them, then they ran away with the money. I said, okay, I won't do that again. So then we said, okay, fine, next time you want money, we will use our agent to clear the goods and hold the goods. And how do we get it? I employed clearinghouse agents, and it became part of unit trust. So when you come to do for the money, then the clearinghouse agent will go and clear the goods and put it in the warehouse. And when you bring the money, you pick part of it and release it. So immediately, what happened was that we had clearing agents as part of unit trust. We had warehouse specialists as warehouse managers who were doing collateral management. And before we realized, we had a logistics team in unit trust financial services. So when people say, how did you go to logistics, how did you go into properties and things like that, it wasn't like I said, oh, after unit trust, we want a logistics company. No. The logistics company came to help us grow the financial services. And therefore, when we wanted to become a bank, we had to actually take out all these companies and put them on their own. And still serve the core purpose of giving us the logistical services. And the same with the properties. When we were lending against collateral, we had to maintain those collaterals of the properties. We had to do searches, we had to do valuation. And the issue is we wanted to lend as fast as possible. Now, if you want to go and value somebody's property from a valuer, it takes maybe 2-3 weeks with property document bound, with pictures and all those. I ask the question, why do we have to go through that? But we are not about acquiring their properties. We only want to know that the property is valued properly. And therefore, we have employed a professional valuer. And that guy will go to the place and say, Chief, I say yes. And that property is worth 100,000 plus or minus 10%. If a professional valuer, that's all I needed to do the loan, not the proper valuation. And people go to do the search. And they go into the search, it says it takes about 2 weeks to do the search. Search means what? It means go and search and see if the owner is the owner. And therefore, when we engage somebody at once, as soon as we get there, he goes inside and says, oh, you can go with it, it's his property. Or don't touch it, it's not his property. I'm giving a secret of how we did go in 48 hours. You know? But then, because we're dedicated to the main cause of doing the loan, we realized that we had properties specialists also within UT, not form UT properties. So, creating other income streams, what I'm trying to tell you is that if you have a business and you start, create it along the main business that you want to set up. Don't go too far afield, because then when it hits you badly, everything goes down. So, to my point, we had UT properties, UT logistics, UT private securities, because we wanted them to provide special services for our clients in our places. We had UT Life also giving life insurance policies and so on and so forth. Then we tried our business in Nigeria and South Africa as the same model going on. So UT was focused on its main core business of giving loans and doing facilities. And all the other business that people had, and they said I was a witch. Anything after this man, he goes into everything is successful. No, I was doing unique trust financial services, financial services, and then we had the other things. And of course, we had experts to run those things. A lot of people tried to imitate it, but then what they did was, some even went to gold mining. It is not bad, but then you have this right expertise to be able to control that one. Then we have other business. The only problem that I made or UT made was that when we went to logistics, we have called it acquisition logistics, and properties, Kwesi properties. And so that we hide the identity, because the identity don't like people who are successful. And all of a sudden they saw, hey, this man, and then UT this, UT, UT that, and eyes came on me and it's like, we'll kill this man, we'll kill his business. So my warning to you is as we generate extra income streams, for the sake of who we are, try and hide it. Don't put the same name on all of them. Now, after we form all these companies, the problem, and I want to use this to explain how we got into banking, which was different setup. People think, oh, then UT became a bank and that's how they failed. No. We did not start by saying we wanted to become a bank. We had UT Financial Services, which was the main power. And then we had UT Properties, UT Lawyers, UT Nigeria, UT South Africa, UT whatever. Then somebody said at a study session that, why don't we own a bank? And I said before that we shouldn't own a bank because UT was started because I hated how the banks were treating people when it came to loans. But then when we thought about it, it's like, yeah, why not? Because some people come for money from us and go and put the money in the bank only to get an LC. But the bank says put 50% cash deposit. And the bank will just keep the money for as long as it takes for the bill of lading and things to come. So then, if we have a bank, we can save people. Now look, every business or every income generating business that you want to do should have in mind the idea of solving problems for people. That's what business is about. Entrepreneurs solve problems, and through the problem solving, they make money. It's not that you are smarter than everybody, and therefore you want to just make money. Some people will say that, oh, they say there's money in water, or which are going to water, and you fail. So whatever you want to do to generate the extra stream of income, make sure you have the required knowledge of it, and make sure it ties in with your general plan of what you want to do. And if you are not careful, you divert yourself into almost nothing and you lose out. Now I'll tell you something which is very interesting about me and what I did. So personally, it was like I didn't care, and even now I don't care about material things that much. Of course, you need a bit of money to eat, to give to family, and all those things. But material things don't move me. But one of our advice is that if you make enough money, at least divest some of the money into a bit of stocks, a bit of real estate, a bit of other companies that you think can help, some treasury bill, even though the rates are coming down. It's better to divest because my story is this. So, because of the time when people were saying, I was a multi-millionaire and I was worth so much, I never really calculated how much I was worth. I knew my net worth was the net worth of all the companies that I had shares in. And it was a lot of money, but it didn't matter to me because if you want to know, I still had one shoe, I still had one car that I drove myself, I still had one watch that mostly I didn't put up, and so on and so forth. So if they say money, hey, it's not money, it didn't mean much to me. And I didn't care to put some of the monies in other places because it was a lot of money, so it never get finished. That's what I thought. Then, so MPP people came to power. I mean, it's not politics I'm talking about my experience. And then, for whatever reason, I was targeted and the bank was closed down. And then there was a rush on all the other companies because all the other companies' accounts were frozen and so on and so forth. Then I was taken over and had to go to Yoko for investigation to see if I was a criminal. I'm not making excuse for myself. I'm only telling you this story. And then I was put to court. There was a so-called there with my lawyer, and I went to court. And then the lawyer listened, the judge listened to our case, and then he set bail at 16 million cedis. I remember asking my lawyer, Judge, what I want. Because 1 million could buy a house at the time. Maybe now I can buy a good house. So it means I should find 60 houses. And my lawyer said, okay, fine, don't worry, I'll go and negotiate with the registrar, so on and so forth. And he went and negotiated and came all excited. He said, listen, we only need 2 properties, and then we send bail, and then we go home. I looked at him and said, I don't have any properties. He said, what? You? I don't have any properties. And to finish that story, even though that's not my main thing, it was a client of mine who heard I was in court and came with properties to say that this man should not be kept here. He brought the properties they could use to pay me. My message to you is that when you make money, at least buy some property. You don't want people to go to court. You ask for one property and you don't have, and you may have to spend that night in the police station. So, in other words, what I'm saying is that getting other income streams, not necessarily for the income, sometimes it's not that good, but at least it's to ensure that you have a safety net. You put a bit of money in treasury bill, now the rates are bad, but you know that it can easily be liquidated. That's why it's not like the 15% that they pay is good. And then you put a bit in real estate because you can go to court and don't want anything, they want a land before they can set bail. Hey, please, I'm a good man, but I want to court and I had that property. Mind yourself. And then you also have to look at other business, but in Ghana, especially with the pressure on us, don't invest in friends' businesses unless there's a strong contract behind it. It's not like, oh, but will you bring, no, please. Because we are not very good people generally, let's face it. And therefore, you have to watch the income stream. So, my advice to you is, please, as you make money, certainly divest. Don't divest too far away from the core of the business. And if you are, say, in the corporate world and having a salary, the way to go is probably try the hobby that you have as a business. In that case, you're having a bit of fun, but you get a bit of money coming in. And when you think the hobby is taking shape and you're getting more insight and getting more attracted to it, look at it seriously with a business plan and may mean that you may have to jump ship. Because it's better to be employed, to be your own employer than getting people employ you and give you what they like and tell you what you should do. So I think with this, I will cut my delivery short because I'm saying that anybody can go chat PT, chat AI and see what you are supposed to do. And I'm not here to repeat all that. I just have to share my experiences with you. And it's all there in my book, volume 1, volume 2, volume 3, and you see how you did it, how we divested into other places, and how we did it in some occasions, and we have to deal with what we have. So I'm really happy to be here, and I'll continue with the Q&A session. Thank you very much.